Next, we have a panel discussion of transforming IT architecture for conglomerates, metal businesses. We have the privilege of having three distinguished IT leaders, Mr. Bhushan Deshpande, CIO, MNS India, Mr. Harish Mehra, Executive Vice President and CIO, JSW Steel, and Mr. Naveen Jain, General Manager, C&IT, Steel Authority of India Limited. This session will be moderated by Mr. Vimal Gaba, Global Head Metal and Mining at SAP. Please join me in welcoming them to the stage. Mr. Bhushan Deshpande, Mr. Harish, Mr. Naveen Jain, and Mr. Vimal Gaba, please on the stage. The session is over to you, Mr. Vimal. Thank you.
All right. After a, I would say, wonderful session from Chetan sharing the journey of Vedanta, now I have the opportunity of welcoming three leaders from, again, IT organizations of large conglomerates in the steel industry. And I think they are very, very experienced within this, I would say, podium. We have close to 70 years of experience in this landscape. They are leading three IT organizations where there's a lot of growth happening. And that growth, as we heard in the morning, is directly impacting the IT landscape. How do you cloudify? How do you transform? How do you become really future ready? So we are going to have this panel discussion a little bit, getting views from all the three leaders, and they're in different state of their journeys. So I'm sure that some of the thoughts which they share on their journeys, where they stand and how they proceed further, is going to be a very important guiding force for us in the industry. So maybe again, welcome Bhushan, Naveen, Harish. It's a pleasure having you. It's our honor to have you, and thank you for sparing the time. Maybe I'll start with you, Bhushan, first. Now, last year you already went live with your S4 migration, and it was a very successful journey, of course, and we have heard a lot about it. Now you're moving ahead, and there is a plan to move away and move to RISE, move to cloud fully. And what I would like to maybe understand is, what is the thinking behind? I mean, what are some of the drivers for you now to go to cloud in the context of both digital core as well as the larger cloudification approach, which you think is important for AMNS as AMNS is growing very fast? We cannot hear you actually.
Yeah. So you're right. Our S4 journey has been interesting. But let's understand why we are doing this. So we are an integrated steel manufacturing unit with assets all over India, mines, ports, power units, upstream and downstream manufacturing facilities. And right now, although we are at close to 9 million tons per annum, the plan is to take it to 15, 20 and 40 million tons. So this is the kind of growth that we are talking about. And when we look at the expansion, obviously we will need application systems, and that too in an agile manner. So one of the first things that we wanted to achieve, that yes, we have an ability to reduce the time to market. When I say time to market, it is not about the core SAP, but SAP plus other applications which are required for every business function, I would say. And for that, we wanted to look at a package, not just a product as such, but which gives us an ability to customize based on our requirements in a quicker manner. And that's where RISE helped us. So that is one aspect. Second is we look at two aspects. One is, of course, the cybersecurity, whether the platform which we will eventually adopt will give us the right framework to protect ourselves from the cybersecurity pieces, and of course the cost part of it. So I would say the expansion, the speed of expansion, that was one. Second is the platform ability to produce, to customize solutions which are required in an agile manner, cybersecurity aspect, and of course, the cost part of it.
Thank you. I think this is probably a very important aspect which you have raised, which is cybersecurity and also costs with growth. So maybe with these two elements in mind, I shift to you, Naveen, asking you that Steel Authority has had a long journey with SAP as well. And you have had different steel plants, different landscapes across many years. Now, SAIL is also growing, and being a public sector organization, of course, you also have growth plans aggressively. And uh, how do you look at this whole journey of standardization, consolidation, bringing landscape together? Where is the thinking coming from? What are the drivers for you from a cloudification perspective? And what is your approach going forward in this journey? If you could throw some light on that, Naveen.
Thank you. Thank you. Am I audible? Hello. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Vimal. So you're right. It's been a long journey. In SAIL, actually, we started somewhere in 2006, 2007 with SAP journey with Bilai as our pilot plant. And then, slowly we, all our integrated steel plants, we brought them on the roadmap of ERP and then our marketing division CMO, as well as the corporate office. So as of now, we have 7 instances of ERP running across the organization. And you know that that's a huge kind of a thing. One thing which has happened because of this is that, these things which were done at different point of time. So, different processes have been adopted, although the basic process might be same, but then there are differences in processes across the various plants and units. Now that is one of our major concern, the harmonization of the processes, and not only harmonization, to adopt the best process which is possible. So for that, we have already embarked on the journey. We have onboarded a consultant. And more than the consultant, what you need is your own people, actually. Because these are the people who are, who have actually seen the good side and bad side of ERP, so I would say. Now, a person from one of my plant, when he looks at the process from another plant, there are times when he says that my plant, my process is better. You have that love for your own process. But at the same time, if you try to analyze it rationally, he would say, yes, your process is slightly better. And that is what we are finding now. That people, when they are looking at the processes, sometimes they are saying the way the Bhilai has done is better than mine, the way the Bokaro has done. So it's a kind of an opportunity with us right now that, we are able to bring the best of the processes, and which is probably not possible if I look back and look at it, that probably if we had gone for a single instance long time back, maybe I would not have got this opportunity. But now the opportunity is there to look at the processes and harmonize them and simplify the processes. So this is what we are doing. But anyway, for this, we have people on board. Most of the people who belong to the process, as well as who have ERP exposure. And we have, already a very high level team, which is working on that. We give a lot of importance to this. So, the people at the executive director level, at the topmost level, they are looking into each and every process and trying to harmonize this. So this is all. But yes, definitely, as you said that how do you look at this journey? Yes, I look at it as a very big challenge. Another question you asked about the cloud. Cloud journey is not new to us. 2 of our instances at corporate office and one of our plant, we had gone for cloud. So being in a PSU, the PSUs have a conservative mindset. Not many of them want to go out of there because data, is very close to them. But we have been sort of, you can say, forward thinking in those matter. We have already gone in cloud and we have seen a lot of advantages. And therefore, in this new journey which we are planning, we are thinking of adopting RISE because we have seen the advantages when it is managed by SAP themselves, and when it is you do not have your people as someone was just mentioning. Your IT people is there for doing innovation rather than you bind them for doing the mundane task of maintaining the data center, maintaining the server. So that is one thing which we are planning.
Wonderful. Thank you. I think this standardization and process standardization across plants is a very, very big driver, which I think makes a lot of sense for a plant like SAIL, which has multiple units spread across the globe. Maybe Harish, now moving to you. That's the third dimension, and that's the beauty of this panel that, all three of you are in very different situations. And maybe can you throw some light? I mean, JSW, if I look at it, they are into different businesses. They are into steel, they are into cement, paints, infrastructure, different businesses asking different questions, raising their hands in different directions. And you're still starting that journey. I mean, digital core still is there, but I don't know how is the thinking for you on cloud in getting everything aligned with multiple business in play. Do you want to look at the approach which Naveen talks about, or there are different approaches, or maybe, if you want to throw some light on what is your direction with cloud and with the digital journey. Yeah.
Sure. Thanks, Vimal, and thanks for the insights what they shared about their respective companies. See, as you rightly said, JSW, though 80% of the business comes from steel, but we are no more a only the steel company. We are into cement, paints, we are getting into battery, we are getting into automobile. So a lot of diversification has happened already into this. We are not able to move for some strategic reasons that we have a complex architecture where if you need to move, you need to take some very critical decisions in terms of how the 2B architecture will look like. And every architecture has its own pros and cons. We believe that the pace at which we are growing, the pace can only be maintained if there is an adaptation of cloud and platform-led approach, because it gives me that scalability, that flexibility, and with cloud, additional features coming in, it helps in maintaining and running those systems in future. But as Mr. Arun in the morning also mentioned, we are a capital-heavy mindset company, and traditionally all steel organizations are like that. So giving and moving, so we are good in owning the assets, managing and maybe juicing out the assets. It's a cultural change in terms of adaptation of this to a service or a cloud-based model is what is gradually growing. It's a journey for GSWs. It's not that we have not started it. There are many of the business units and many of our other supporting functions beyond SAP are still, we are using cloud-based solutioning. Systems are hosted on cloud. We are using service software as a service journey. Now, coming back to the core question of when we are moving, so we are definitely looking into the adaptation from an SAP perspective. As Mr. Arun mentioned already, we are very thankful the way we have done this journey with SAP for so long, and we are trying to get into a leap jump, by adaptation of cloud infrastructure. Currently, we are trying to look into what best suits our environment, looking at the complexity which we have built over a period of time, how we can carve out certain things, what kind of archetypes we need to take as an approach. And the decision is also governed by the kind of business benefits which will be getting in, what kind of cost structures will be landing in, licensing. So I can always confidently say here that we are in the process of this journey. We have kick-started in shape and form already with some of the SAP deployments as well as peripheral deployments and moving on cloud, and SAP is in just a matter of time, moving there.
Perfect. No, Harish, I can fully empathize about this, that, with so much of growth, acquisition and balancing act is very, very critical. And yeah, perfect. All right. So I think that was a good view in terms of what's the big picture for the three large conglomerates from an IT architecture perspective, how they are looking at cloudification and how they are looking at SAP journey. Now, maybe coming back to you, Bhushan, you did S4, you're on RISE journey already. Business must be asking something, right? Process improvements. So how do you look at improving your processes and giving back to business certain value? What approach you're taking, or what tools you're thinking, or what dimensions are there? Maybe what core processes you want to pick up? Any thoughts on that direction would be helpful.
Thanks a lot. An interesting question, though. For us, the theme is operational efficiency. And we believe that it's extremely important to have a business process centric view. Not just have that, but establish that as part of the standard processes. So, just one example, let's say when we look at a typical steel manufacturing, we start from iron ore, we dispatch it, then it gets beneficiated, then we have pallets, then ship it to the manufacturing facility, then downstream processing, and then again it goes to the customer. So, there are a number of unit operations that are required to be executed in order to complete one cycle, and various functions involved in that. So it's extremely important to have this unit operation wise view established as part of the standard practice. Only then we will be in a position to measure it and then control it and find ways to improve the process. And of course, the technology solution is required for that. So with this in mind, we are actually in the process of deploying Signavio, which we believe that is the right fit for our requirements. The end state is to have a kind of an end-to-end visualization of every process that happens within the enterprise, and attached to it are going to be KPIs, so that we are in a position to measure the improvements that are required to be delivered are delivered on an ongoing basis. Although that's work in process, we know that it's going to take a few months for us to establish that, but it's a journey and an interesting one.
No, sure. I think that makes a lot of sense with the journey, the direction which you are looking at. I think process improvement is something which, I mean, AI plays a lot of role there, but also in general, measuring that process efficiency itself is a challenge. Knowing where you stand, where are the gaps, is a issue. And if you are really looking at that as one of the business drivers to give back to business certain value, I think that is probably a very good, approach. Maybe moving to you, Naveen. Now, again, the business dimension. You said that you are trying to consolidate, standardize different businesses, think differently, that we are good and we are better, probably. Now, as a part of this transformation, when you look at business value, are there certain core business themes or areas where you think that yes, this is where our focus should be as a part of this transformation when we pick it up, specifically with the thought process that this is steel industry and what the industry is asking? I mean, which probably business processes are at the center of transformation? Can you throw some light on the bigger picture with that dimension? Yeah.
Vimal, what we are thinking is that there are two basic benefits, or the improvements which will come. Because one is the centralization theme, because we have different, as I mentioned, different instances running, and you have people working on those things. You're not able to utilize your manpower optimally. You are maintaining so many things. Your people are busy in maintaining on-site data centers and all that. So one is that benefit which will come due to this centralization. That is number one. Another benefit is because of the improved the facilities and functionalities which S4 HANA is providing now, which probably was not available earlier on. For example, when we talk about supply chain, these kind of things, or transportation management, as my panelist just mentioned, steel is a very complex industry, and you have all kind of transportation, your inbound material, the outside the material has to go, it has to go to customer, managing the entire transportation chain. You have coal coming in, so many things which are there. So all those, when we had done all these things earlier on, these kind of softwares were not available. Today these kind of softwares are available. Then you have the added functionalities of so many functionalities, new things coming by way of BTP. So many new softwares are available there. So we are looking at that there are a lot of areas which are there, almost right from process simplification to harmonization to having a very good analytics, which help you in a decision making, because with different instances, you are probably not able to, get all those benefits of analytics also. So that way, there are a lot of areas which we are targeting, and obviously the bottom line is that how to improve your bottom line. That is the focus for with this. Maybe with the when you have so much optimization coming in, then obviously that is what the management is looking for, the direct impact on the bottom line. That's it.
No, perfect, Naveen. I think what you're saying is that you're looking at different pockets of improvement in different processes plus standardization across units, which I think is a tremendous journey. And of course, there are some challenges with that, but let's go ahead with it. Yeah. All right. So, Harish, different question maybe. You are still going to start the journey with SAP, if I think specifically, but then, and this is a little bit more technical maybe. I mean, there are a lot of other things. I mean, you have vast experience before joining JSW as well, and we hear a lot of focus on cyber security, resilience on the cyber side, and then in steel industry there is IT/OT integration, and then there are certain regulatory things, and you have to balance that as well. I mean, where does that fit? How do you bring that together and simplify that complexity, or also look at in the context of your cloud journey, how important are these drivers to, say, move to a rise or a cloud platform, for example, fully?
So, as in plants, we say safety first. So when we are in IT, we say cyber security first. And it has to be by design. Whatever you are building or whatever components you are building, whatever technology adaptation you may be having based on your specific industry challenges or business imperatives which you want to address to, it has to be designed in a manner, whether it's a custom built code or a third party solution which you are taking, to be doubly sure that security, it's not as it's entering into your architecture, you need to have standard procedures, guidelines well structured, that it is a secured solution. Because any vulnerability and any intrusion which can potentially happen to this may compromise a lot of your data. And today, since morning, what we are hearing, and which is also true, which we all believe, is the data is the next currency for all of us. Because mining the data and making business decisions out of that, creating that knowledge out of those patterns which data will throw, is very, very critical. And once it gets compromised, forget about the image, the financial losses, and some other things. It's a big ticket item which you need to address it. See, steel is very heavy on plants. Half of the supply chain runs from the plants itself. I will say, for an IT/OT convergence perspective, every industry and every plant has to see it differently. There is no single answer to that. It's a hybrid which will be successful, in which maybe 80% can go on cloud or 20% remain on plant, or it can be that only 25% needs to be on cloud, remaining has to be on the plant side. So that, what is that combination for you? With my exposure to multiple industries before joining here, take example CPG or typical FMCG environments. It may be very heavy. You can move things, a lot of things on cloud because unit cost of that production is not that expensive. Latency is also not going to be play very, very significant role. But when it comes to these kind of scenarios, you really need to see the kind of data which you want to process locally and the data which you want to send on cloud. Looking at that, these are very real-time decisions. A model which is built on cloud, may be deployed on edge, can be that hybrid, architecture which potentially should work. So industries, I believe, is evolving, and more maturity will come into that space. I don't think any extreme positioning is a good positioning at this moment.
Yeah.
With current technologies what we have. Tomorrow, I don't know, but today, I think hybrid is the best way which we are taking forward. So edge plays a critical role, and then cloud is primarily in those scenarios are more on pushing the data to SAP or having some KPI reporting and those kind of things.
No, perfect. I think I agree. This hybrid approach and being a little bit cautious in balancing is also as important. All right. I think we have very little time left, and I want to do a very quick round. Maybe I can change the order and start with Naveen first as a surprise. So, Naveen, look, in the morning we heard a lot of AI, and everybody is talking AI, and people would be surprised we didn't ask that question. So, I mean, in this whole transformation journey, how are you bringing that AI element, saying that we want to solve some of the challenges which will otherwise come if we don't solve them now? So, how is the AI thinking in your transformation journey as a part of this initiative, which you are in the process of starting or already started?
Yeah, Vimal. AI is, yeah, we know that it's a powerful tool for increasing the efficiency and, for enabling your decision making, all your mundane tasks, it can do all those things. And obviously, AI is the in thing. It is where the industry is looking at, that is the future. We have also started AI in, you can say, small ways, some baby steps which we have taken, for, there are in OT area, there are certain places where we have started the use of implement. For example, the coal, that constitutes almost 53% of the cost of the metal. So, and the blending and all, we are trying to use AI. As of now, we have a lot of projects which are running, small projects, which are running with theme as the AI and ML and all these things. Similarly, in IT side also, customer side, we have started some AI using some basic things. For example, giving them a kind of a chat bot or things like that. But yeah, AI is the area where we are looking for, and practically in all the areas, it is going to impact us. And we are very open to it. There are so many use cases for that, practically in all aspects.
Okay. No,
So,
good. I
so
think.
what I would say is that yes, we have started, but in a small way, and we are learning and developing, and as things move on, we are trying to catch up on these things.
No, perfect. I think that is how we hear a lot of things about AI, how people are approaching. So, very quickly to you, Harish, what is the big picture for you? I mean, so many plants, data, different applications. How are you thinking about AI in maybe 1 minute?
So yeah, AI, we look at into different aspects. One is the pure industrial AI. I will say the AI which is plant based. OT is a heavy contributor to that, and the complexity with that it is not just about data. You have lot of physics behind those. So that kind of a treatment of AI is a combination of data and the physics, the kind of a chemistry which is going behind that. So you need a very engineering mindset to develop that kind of AI models at the floor level, which gives you that productivity, quality, and those kind of gains. And the other aspects is on the transaction systems, which is the business part of the AI, where you need to be more responsive AI because the kind of data what you have, which is already in a very structured form, your ability to integrate. I think the biggest challenge and what we are targeting to address is stitching these data sets together. So it's love to see when we got introduced to your platform
Business.
and you talked about the data products and your ability to give a low code, no code front end to your end users in building it. We are, I can say, it's just a coincidence that we are just thinking in the same lines, that how this data can be brought into small chunks, how we can stitch them and contextualize them in an effective manner in a business layer, and provide the visualization to the end users. Just simply to put it in words, we believe digital and AI is a culture. It is not a departmental job. So everybody has to learn it, and it will touch everybody's life today also in some way. And in manufacturing plants, our businesses, it's bound to come. So we are aggressively working toward that.
Perfect answer, I would say. Wonderful. No, this is the way. I mean, you look at industrial AI and processes and trying to solve the data problem, and this gives us a little bit of confidence that yes, our strategy, which we discuss in the morning, is trying to solve some of the problems. So maybe last bit to you, Bhushan. I mean, data AI. Couple of sentences on how you think business AI maybe.
Sure. Yeah. So to start with, AI or Gen AI is kind of abused. Every 10th word has to be AI or Gen AI in a conversation. Otherwise, it's incomplete.
Yeah.
But on a serious note, when we look at Gen AI or AI in particular for the organization, we have categorized it into three buckets. Let's say one is the organization or the workforce ready to understand what AI is, and are they ready to actually implement and use it? That is number one. And for that, we had launched a program 2 years ago, a citizen development program where there was a kind of a curriculum which was created to ensure that the larger workforce is trained on the basics of technology, and then of course the AI part. So that's an ongoing program. That is one aspect. The second is enterprise AI, and the third one is everyday AI. So we have created these three buckets. So when we say enterprise AI, we are talking about all AI which is required for operations, not the conventional predictive maintenance or prescriptive maintenance, but going beyond that. For example, power prediction or iron ore efficiency. I'm sorry, the blending and everything. Some of such examples that is related to the core operations, finance, price prediction for sales. That's the enterprise AI part of it. Second is the everyday AI, the tools that we have. We also launched an AI chatbot, so which is kind of a clone of Copilot, which helps the CXOs and the senior management for their day-to-day operations. So I think that's what we started with, and it's a journey like every other organization. We are in the process of maturing our practices, our models, and our adoption.
Perfect. I think thank you so much to all of you. I mean, different ways of looking at AI, enterprise AI, everyday AI. These are new words actually. Good to learn. Thank you so much to all of you. Actually, I can continue this conversation if this warning is not there for another 30 minutes and ask you other maybe difficult questions. But again, thank you for being our customers for so many years. But bigger thank you for taking time today and being here and sharing very openly what you think as your direction in transforming your IT architectures with the growing steel industry in India, with the growth pressures you face from the business. And I can fully understand, and also looks like, whatever strategy we discussed in the morning probably aligns a little bit, with what you're trying to solve from SAP side.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot again. Thank you.
Thank you to all our panelists for the engaging discussion. This discussion delved into the challenges and approaches for modernizing IT landscape in large metal enterprises. The experience shared will undoubtedly help many in the audience.